Hi, everybody. Mary Goyer here. Quick video on this little distinction based on a client conversation that I thought might be interesting. We are living in times where a lot of people have uh, so much coming up, and sort of this idea of being an MVC practitioner. Um, Well, the question that was posed to me was, would it be a goal? Like, is it ideal for us to get to a place where we don't get upset? Where we're not being reactive. Is there even a difference between being upset and being reactive? And you might have a different definition than I do of kind of these two states. I think of upset as potentially being involving any one of a number of some of the unpleasant feelings on the feelings list, and can certainly like lead us to information about unmet needs. This is like a core NVC principle. So, upsetness to me is not by any means something that is certainly not to be avoided, and or in any way problematic, right? But yeah, I do understand that there's this sort of like bigger question about agency and reactivity. Like, can you have some choice to be more effective when you're in these spaces of extreme upsetness? So I think of reactivity a little bit like I don't know, being like a plastic bag in the wind, where you're sort of at the mercy of, just being thrown about until the wind happens to settle, versus something more like maybe being a sailboat, where the wind matters, whatever's happening out there um, certainly has impact, but there are also choices to be made. There are tools. There's, you can do this or that with the sails or with the engine, if there is one, things like that, right? There's ways that you can kind of navigate and potentially even use some of the intensity in support of wherever it is you're trying to go. So, um, reactivity, there's physiological parts to it. So, increased heart rate, shallow breath, clenched stomach. You might notice that your voice gets louder or much, much softer when you're reactive. Like, there can be like a pushing into, like a more intensity that shows up in some people, or a kind of a withdrawal, like a collapse. Whether you're noticing big energy and like exaggerated gestures or freezing up in fear, like either of these kinds of extremes might be indications for you of being in a reactive space. There's also other things. It's not all about the somatics. Um, like what kinds of, for example, like I think of one of the things I've noticed in myself is I get real nitpicky about details that are not germane to the point. White lies, um, starting to um, get like super brain foggy or beat around the bush. Like there's looping thoughts, like thinking about something and just over and over and over again, like kind of obsessing. All of these kinds of patterns, if it is in fact a pattern for you, can help you to notice a little bit earlier on if you're feeling reactive. Now, I think that there are ways that you can kind of navigate reactivity skillfully. That's really our goal in NVC, is to be more aware more often. I'm upset, or like I'm very reactive. I can feel like I'm almost at the state of dysregulation. Can I take a pause? Can I go have a glass of water? What can I do for myself to get more self connected, more in touch with my agency and choice? That's really what we're trying for. Hope that's helpful, everybody. Thanks.